NRA demands Second Amendment protections for nuclear weapons, White House attacks citizens threatening to overthrow government, and Occupy Wall Street bought out by American Apparel. Annamaria Chen here with News Makeup's weekly roundup, the top stories of the past week from the best thing since news. Fighting the White House's recent push for stricter gun regulation, the NRA is now demanding protection for Americans' nuclear weapons. The NRA and gun enthusiasts use Gun Appreciation Day rallies to call for legislation that would guarantee Second Amendment protections for the possession of all weapons, be they traditional firearms or nuclear warheads. At a rally in Virginia, NRA Vice President Wayne LaPierre told attendees, Thomas Jefferson said the Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and also occasionally with nuclear fallout. However, News Makeup spoke with a Democratic representative from a largely pro-gun district who would only speak about the issue under the condition of anonymity. The representative explained, I think this is a terrible idea, but I barely won my last election and I just don't have the political capital to fight the NRA. If they can agree to the background checks that should keep liberal constituents off my back, at least until the next tragedy. In an effort to raise revenue, the White House has decided to tax citizens threatening to overthrow the government instead of investigating their comments on Twitter and Facebook. In exchange for faithful payment of said tax, sources say the executive branch will look the other way and refrain from prosecuting those who advocate the violent overthrow of the federal government, a crime normally punishable by up to 20 years in prison. The plan would make the best of the public's hard-on for half-assed insurrection by asking those who call for the government to be toppled, its buildings set ablaze, and its officials murdered to pay a modest tax for each instance of borderline sedition. Proposed rates reportedly range from 25 cents to $3 per statement. But the White House believes that the sheer overwhelming volume of such speech will add up to significant revenue. A White House source told News Makeup, our data shows that someone publicly incites violence against the federal government roughly every 0.007 seconds, and that's just on the Drudge Report alone. The White House is hoping to balance the budget off of the new tax. In local business news, News Makeup has learned that American Apparel plans to buy out Occupy Wall Street. In a deal that's likely to bolster the sex appeal of American Apparel, the Occupy Wall Street movement has agreed to sell 51% of its shares to the popular fashion brand American Apparel. Protesters cheered at the news that they would likely be used as models for the popular brand's next magazine, Occupy This, which will feature revealing photos of Occupy campers in sexy grunge clothing, hipster outerwear, and other outdoor styles. The new line is expected to debut just in time for the summer Occupy Wall Street protests. That concludes this edition of the Weekly Roundup. Tune in next week for reports from the best thing since news.